You are part of a generation that grew up in one specific time. For you, India might seem like it has always been this way. You have known one leader for a very long time. It is easy to think this is the only way things have ever been. But that is not true. Before the India you see today, there was another India, shaped by powerful events and difficult choices. This is not about spin or taking sides. It is about context. I will tell you about 4 key moments from the 90s and 2000s. You need to know these stories. They are the foundation of the world you have inherited. These events are not just old news from dusty books. In the late 90s, India saw a period of political change. A man named Inder Kumar Gujral became the Prime Minister in 1997. His government did not last long, but one of its policies became famous. It was called the Gujral Doctrine. The main idea was to build better relationships with India's smaller neighbors by being generous. It was a policy of goodwill. As part of this approach, a very serious step was taken. According to analysts and reports from that time, the Special Operations Desk for Pakistan within India's spy agency, the Research and Analysis Wing, was shut down. This was a deliberate choice. The impact of this decision was immediate and severe. Closing that desk meant that India's ability to gather human intelligence from inside Pakistan was crippled. Spies on the ground are the eyes and ears of a nation. They provide information that satellites and technology cannot. The element of controversy springs from the debilitating impact it had on RNAW's ability to conduct intelligence operations in Pakistan. On his directions, the Pakistan Special Operations Desk of RNAW was shut down, leading to a major gap in India's intelligence capabilities. Without those networks, India was flying partially blind. This move is often linked to what happened next. In 1999, the Kargil War began. Pakistani soldiers, disguised as militants, crossed the line of control and occupied strategic peaks on the Indian side. Many experts and analysts point to the closure of the RNAW desk as a key reason for this intelligence failure. Analysts blame this as one of the key factors that led to the intelligence failure before the Kargil War commenced. The country was not prepared because it was not properly informed. It was a brutal lesson in how foreign policy ideals can clash with the harsh realities of national security. The government changed soon after. Atal Bihari Vajpayee became Prime Minister, and the country had to fight a difficult war to reclaim its territory. The Indian Army fought with immense bravery and won back the peaks, but at a very high cost. Many soldiers lost their lives. The episode shows a direct line between a political decision made in a quiet office and a bloody conflict on a frozen mountain. It teaches a hard lesson. In the world of nations, good intentions are not a shield. Strength and vigilance are what keep a country safe. The covert groups were disbanded and were never fully revived in the same way. These covert groups were disbanded during the tenure of E.K. Gujral and were never restarted. The nation learned at great cost what it means to lower its guard. Now let us go back a little further to the early 90s. Hamid Ansari, a name you might know, he later became Vice President of India. He was serving as the Indian ambassador in Tehran. Tehran, the capital of Iran. An ambassador's job is to represent their country and protect its interests. But serious allegations came later from former officers of India's RNAW. They wrote a letter to the Prime Minister. They claimed that during his Tehran posting, Ansari's actions damaged India's intelligence operations. A grave charge against a high-ranking diplomat. The core allegation was shocking. The officers claimed Ansari cooperated with the Iranian government and its intelligence agencies. They sought an inquiry, accusing him of damaging RNAW operations in Tehran. The complaint said he not only failed to protect national interest, but actively cooperated with Iranian intelligence, causing a serious dent to RNAW. They alleged he exposed the entire RNAW setup in the city. That meant the identities of Indian agents were compromised, and the details of their secret work were exposed. The consequences were devastating for those involved. When an intelligence network is exposed, agents become targets. On the night of February 18, 2007, a terrible tragedy struck. 2 bombs exploded on the Samjhauta Express. The Samjhauta Express, the Friendship Express. It runs between India and Pakistan. The explosions caused a massive fire. 68 people were killed, mostly Pakistani civilians. It was a brutal act of terror, designed to attack the very idea of peace between the 2 nations. The immediate aftermath was horror and grief, and a desperate search for answers. Who could do such a thing? The nation was in shock, and pressure to find the culprits was immense. In the initial investigation, the focus turned inward. A number of individuals with links to Hindu groups were arrested. This led to a powerful and controversial narrative of Hindu terror. For years, that theory dominated headlines and political discourse. However, as the case moved through the courts, this narrative began to fall apart. The trial was long and complex. In 2019, a special court acquitted all the accused, including Swami Asimanand. The verdict said investigators failed to prove their guilt. While the case proceeded in India, a different story was emerging on the global stage. International bodies were pointing fingers in a completely different direction. In 2009, the United States and the United Nations Security Council had identified a key suspect, Arif Kasmani. Imagine the coldest, imagine the highest, imagine the most difficult battlefield on Earth. That is the Siachen Glacier. For decades, Indian soldiers have held the strategic heights, braving extreme weather and constant danger. Holding Siachen is not about ego, it is about strategy. From those heights, the Indian Army can watch over a vast area. It can prevent enemies from gaining a tactical advantage that could threaten northern India. In the 2000s, a proposal was seriously considered to change this. During the UPA government, discussions considered withdrawing Indian troops from Siachen. The idea was framed as a peace gesture, a way to demilitarize the glacier, to reduce the immense human and financial cost of the deployment. The Indian Army had a very different view. Strong unified opposition stopped the withdrawal plan. You might think these 4 stories are separate: a closed spy desk, allegations in an embassy, a bombed train, a cancelled withdrawal. But they are not separate. They are connected by a common thread. That thread is national security and the choices that leaders make that can either strengthen it or weaken it. These events are echoes that still ring loudly in the India of 2025. Decisions in the name of peace, diplomacy, or ideology can have unintended and dangerous consequences. You have now heard a part of the story that is often left out. You have seen how decisions made decades ago created the India you live in. So what now? The first and most important lesson is this: be careful where you place your trust. Do not blindly trust a single leader. Do not blindly trust a single political party. Do not blindly trust a single narrative. Politics is a world of powerful words and hidden actions. Leaders will always tell you they are acting in your best interest. History shows that you must verify this for yourself. Question everything. Demand facts. Your job is to learn. Your responsibility is to be an informed citizen. Look for the UN reports, the court verdicts, the declassified documents. Talk to your elders. Ask them what they remember. Their memories are a living archive.